Welcome back to Only Pistols. Today we're having a look at a Walther LPM1. This is a single shot, single stroke pneumatic 177 target pistol made by Walther. Let's start by having a look at the markings on it. So on this side under the loading lever, the low pressure mark, the serial number and made in Germany. On the side of the grip here, the Walther banner. And on this side of the action, the Walther banner again, caliber 4.5mm and LPM1 for the model. And that's it pretty much for your markings. And let's have a look at the sights. And standard Walther sights, so adjustable for windage and elevation, both from the same side, which makes it quite nice, and you don't need a spanner or screwdriver to adjust them, so finger adjustable, which is good. The rear sight plate is a fixed plate with a nicely relieved cutout for the sight element or the sight picture, which gives you a very nice, precise, sharp sight picture. And you can replace these with different width notches to change the appearance. Foresight is a fixed but replaceable foresight element, so you get a range of foresight elements that you can fit, and means you can set the sight picture up to very much how you want it. The grip is a one-piece carved hardwood grip. It's fixed. There's no other adjustment in there, so if you need any more adjustment, you're going to be taking it out of the wood. The palm shelf adjustment, in common with quite a few of this style, you have to remove this to be able to take the grip off. So the bolt for the grip goes up through the center, and so you have to take the palm shelf off to get at it. What you've also got, because it's a single point pulling through, is you tend to get a crack on this point, so you do need to be a little careful. You can see that the hole has elongated already, so you just need to be a little bit careful about that. Otherwise, on the grip, matching hardwood extension to the loading lever, and we'll touch on that again in a minute. The trigger is, as you would expect on a 10mm pistol, a fully adjustable trigger, and also in common with its parentage from the CP range of pistols, the trigger unit is actually removable. So by undoing, with the grip off, by undoing the nut, the captive bolt here and this bolt here, you can actually take the trigger unit out. They're meant to go back in without making any alterations to the settings. I always find that it feels slightly different once you've removed it and reset it. So to be honest, you can make all the adjustments you need to with the trigger unit in place. So I don't really see a lot of reason for that. It was a thing you could do. Otherwise, with the trigger, adjustable trigger shoe there for angle. It has got quite an aggressive slope to it, which you either like or you don't, or you can place it. What you can't do, although you can adjust for reach, what you can't do is actually adjust the elevation of the trigger shoe, so it's fixed at that point. So as you bring the trigger forwards to increase the reach, you do actually change the angle, obviously, so you'll bring the trigger down. So again, that can lead to needing a bit more work on the trigger to make it fit you. Fortunately for me, medium-sized hand, and it fits very nicely. But yeah, very, very good trigger, as you would expect from Walther. So the operation, single stroke pneumatic. So you open this loading lever, cocking lever, and that draws the piston forwards. The piston is a one-piece aluminium unit, a couple of nylon washers to ride on, and then a nylon plastic cup washer at the end, which is what compresses the air. It needs to be, when you've opened it like that, you actually then need to open the loading lever to set the hammer. Otherwise, all that happens when you pull the lever back is it just closes. It doesn't compress any air. So open that up and then lift the loading lever, which opens the breech and cocks the hammer, pulls the hammer back off cocks the trigger and pulls the hammer back off the seal. So now catch hold of the end of the lever, bring it back, goes over centre. That's it. You've now got a charge of air compressed between the end of the piston and the valve, and you can now just sit the pellet in there, close the lever over, and the cocking probe which seats it is hollow with the O-ring seal, so the air is coming up from underneath into the probe and then firing directly into the back of the pellet. So something else to help with it being reliable. Close the lever down and take up the slack on the trigger, and it fires. So again, open the lever up, cock the hammer, and here you can see the compounding link which increases the mechanical advantage as you close it. So that just increases the effort as you close the lever up, and then you get the last bit as it goes over centre and it just locks in place. Drop the pellet in and it fires. One of the things about these is that although they're a single stroke pneumatic, there is a one-way valve in here. So having fired it, if you now cock the pistol again, you get a very small amount of air released but from behind it. So it is a single stroke pneumatic. Apparently if you operate the valve a number of times, you will increase the velocity very slightly, but it is primarily designed as a single stroke pneumatic, so that's how you should use it. Otherwise, on the back of the grip here is this little hole here, and that means you can adjust the weight of the preload on the hammer spring, so you can fine-tune the velocity. You can also fine-tune the velocity on the cocking links because there is a cam, so you can alter the cam and that will change the depth that the piston goes to. So you can change the velocity slightly there, and you can change the velocity slightly with this adjustment here, but it doesn't need to be adjusted very much. Velocity wise, while we're on it, 490, 500 feet per second, so it's pretty quick and certainly going to give you a more than sufficient to give you a very good hole in the target. The target, there you go, that's 5 shots I took just on the first card. When I'm doing this target shooting for these talks, I don't do lots of target shooting before I start. The idea of what I'm after is to find out how the pistol will help me. So yes, if you do a lot of practice, that means you kind of accommodate to the pistol and you kind of work around its foibles, whereas what I'm looking for is how much of a help is the pistol being for me. 10 metre target pistols, they will all pretty much to a pistol, if you've got the right ammunition, put a one-hole group at 10 metres. So the deciding factor then as to how accurate a pistol is how much does it help you or hinder you. This one, as you can see, pretty respectable group, not outstanding, but pretty respectable, more than capable of turning the goods in. So yeah, the Walther LPM1 definitely helps and is a good pistol to shoot. Otherwise, where did it come from? Well, produced from 1991, but actually developed from the earlier CP3 from 1981. So the CP3 is a CO2 powered target pistol using a bulk CO2 fill. This is the same action. It's basically the CP3 action that they already had. So what Walther did was made a single stroke pneumatic charging unit that would fit onto the CP3 action. And why did they do that? Well, because they could, maybe because they didn't have a single stroke pneumatic in the lineup at the time, and Fine Work Bow, one of their great competitors, had the 100 range, so the 100, 102, 103, which were very successful single stroke pneumatics. So maybe there was a bit of, well, if they can, so can we. I don't mind. It was a good thing. It produced a very lovely pistol. Other bits and pieces, well, you've got a muzzle weight, very similar again to the CP3, and there's your crown for the rifled barrel. Nothing particularly unusual about that, but no compensators, so just a straightforward end of the muzzle there, nicely crowned. The barrel also, so these two screws here you can use to set the barrel. So what you've got is two cuts in the barrel itself, and then these grub screws come down, and you can adjust them to pull the barrel forwards or back in the action to get it right. Gives you a little bit of adjustment, but you don't really need to adjust it very much. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, so there you go. It's a lovely thing. They did it because they could. It's a beautiful pistol to shoot. The quality just stands out. This is a 30-odd plus year old pistol, and to be honest, other than having to replace the piston because the seal cracked, I've not done anything to it. It's been shot regularly, and it looks as good as the day it was made. And that is really just a testament to Walther's attention to detail, their quality of their materials, the quality of their workmanship, and their design. So there you go. The Walther LPM1 single stroke pneumatic 177 target pistol, production from 1991. If you've liked this, then please like, share, subscribe, tell other people about it. But otherwise, I'll see you again soon with another air pistol. Thanks very much. Bye.